Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your hostess, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So I'm not going to give you too much of a preamble. We're going to let the young lady speak, and then we're going to offer our commentary. Here we go.
Ladies, I think we have become way too difficult. I think so. And fellas, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but why is it that when a man asks you what you want, and then you give him 5 things, and then he works really hard on those 5 things, as soon as he starts to get the hang of the 5 things that you like and you want, you give him 5 new things? Y'all keep moving the goalposts. And I'm not saying that, things don't come up and everybody is always growing and evolving. But come on, y'all. Y'all don't ever add any new things that y'all give to men. Like nothing. Really, sadly, men really don't get anything, to be quite honest. They really get next to nothing. But y'all don't want to cook no more. Y'all don't clean. Y'all don't want to suck no dick. Y'all don't want to rub his back. Y'all ain't nice. Y'all don't tell him he's handsome. Like it's almost nothing. Y'all get nothing. Men get nothing, and women want everything. Spooky.
And if you want to talk about the so-called dating market, what y'all talking about out here, from the things that I hear a lot of chicks say, she not lying. Let's address the first thing, that you give a man 5 things, and then if he work on the 5 things, you have 5 more things. Most women nowadays, they don't even know what they want. They don't know what they want. When we really break it down, a lot of these chicks have never even been in relationships. When you start talking to women, when you really start talking to women online and you start delving into, their actual past experiences and not talking points and things of that nature, it's a lot of women that's even into their 30s that have never had a significant or any kind of stable relationship. These are people that have headed into their 30s and have had literally nothing but situationships and being friends with benefits. Those are not relationships. And then what they do is they base those experiences, and they try to talk about relationships from those perspectives. And you can't, because those are 2 different things. Being a booty call, a friends with benefits, a situationship, those are not the makings of actual relationships. And you can't tell these women that they not in relationships and that they've never been in relationships with men. Just because you interact with men, just because you sleep with men, that doesn't mean that you have been in relationships with men and have actually, made the effort to try to understand men or understand your man and try to make anything work or make a relationship work, because you don't have a relationship. It's always these different stipulations. It's a booty call. It's, you're in a rotation. It's nothing is really solid. We're not putting a name on it, and we just going with the flow, and it dissolves after a couple of months or a couple of weeks or maybe a year or whatever the case may be. And then you just move on to the next situation. Nobody's having conversations about it. No one is solidifying anything. No one has any intentions for anything. Now you're moving with baggage and trauma. The last situationship, he quote unquote did you this way, did you that way, so you don't want like that behavior, but you really don't know what you need, because many of you don't go on spiritual journeys in order to figure out who you are as a person to begin with. So you don't know what you need. You also don't know what you give. And this is where the other side of that comes from with these women not giving men anything. If you don't know who you are, you don't know what you want, and you don't know what you're capable of giving. You have no idea. And you don't know when you're unable to give it versus when you can give it, because you don't work on yourself. You don't work on yourself. There's no work. You have to learn who you are. This is why y'all can just move from person to person, man to man, you know what I'm saying, jumping from bed to bed without any type of break or real space in between. Y'all say y'all quote unquote healing, but y'all don't be healing because you don't even understand. You come out of these quote unquote healing journeys, still don't know nothing. Like there was a like when my first husband passed away, after like a year, I had chicks like asking me why I wasn't married yet. What? And they were like, didn't understand when I said, I'm not ready to be a wife right now. I'm like, I can't give anything to a husband. Like, I'm not going to be no good. I'm not going to be no good to no man. I'm grieving still. I'm still kind of like gathering myself, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have anything to give a man. I don't have any emotional space for that. Like, I got to get over this part first. I have to make sure that I'm not in a grieving space, in a, you know, like I got to make sure of that. There are certain things that I have to get together and solidify with me so that when the time comes for me to get married again, I know what I'm capable of doing in a marriage. And they didn't understand that. It was like one or two women that came to me or had questions about that actually understood when I said that. No, I'm not ready for that. I can't do that. I can't do that. But I knew I couldn't do it. What couldn't I do? I could not get into a serious long haul marriage and relationship in the emotional and really in the physical condition that I was in. I was not fit. I was not fit. But I had to know that. And it's so many women that don't know nothing about nothing. So they don't even realize they're unfit to be in relationships. And you're unfit for anything more than I come to you at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, hit it, you know, clap the cheeks, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? We might smoke a blunt together, drink something, and then I'm out. They don't realize they're not fit for anything other than that. Because when you try to put them in a situation to be more than that, they never come up with nothing substantial. They never come up with anything substantial that they say that they can add or contribute to a relationship. They deflect, and when you ask them what can you contribute to a relationship, they start deflecting with men ain't this and men ain't that. And then the question always comes back, why are you with men that you don't like or respect? Why would you bother to be with men that you neither like or respect? Why? Because too many of y'all are looking for sponsors and you look to use people. Most of y'all are not good people to begin with. So this is why you can't get into good, healthy relationships, because you're not a good person. Like you don't even come into people's lives or into people's spaces with like good intent. You come in with selfish intent. You come in with self-serving attitudes. And then get mad when the other person isn't there to serve you, but they're not there to serve you. And even if in some instance they were to serve you, you don't reciprocate. Reciprocity is a lost thing. Like that's lost on y'all. To receive something and then to reciprocate it, to give something back of equal measure and of equal value. That's lost on y'all. Y'all don't even like reciprocating kindness. Like y'all want to be with men that treat you kindly and you don't treat them kindly. And it don't take nothing to be a kind person. Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.